NXT put on Halloween Havoc Sunday, and it was a great event. It might be, in total, one of my favorite events that they've done this year. NXT continues to surprise with the young talent and how they've utilized these characters and these athletes to the best of their ability. In my opinion, the main roster shows could learn a lot from NXT. I prefer NXT over Raw and SmackDown just about any week. But let's look at Halloween Havoc and check out my thoughts on each of these matches. To start out the night, we have Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi in a tables, ladders, and scares match. Now, this is just a regular TLC match, but Tony D'Angelo asked Ava if they could change the win stipulation to pinfall instead of grabbing the belt over the ring, which Ava obliged, and I thought was a fantastic change. This might have been one of the best TLC matches I have seen in a long time. It was so good. Both of these men are future world champions, and I can't wait to see how their career plays out. As far as this match goes, you had a lot of high spots, very, very few low spots. The only thing I really didn't like about it is the family's interference at the end. Now, it did grant Tony the win, but I kind of wish Tony would have won it by himself. I do understand storyline purposes and all the reasons why the family was out there, but still, I would have loved to have seen Tony win just by sheer will alone. Now, I gave this match a 96 out of 100, which is a 4.8 stars, and is a strong start to the Halloween Havoc pay-per-view. I will 100% be going back and watching this again, and I think this is a match we will remember for a long time. For me, it is in contention for Match of the Year at this moment. We still have a few months left of the year, but this one is definitely in the top 10 for me, if not the top 5. Following that fantastic match, we have Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez taking on the team of Julia and Stephanie Vakir. Now, going into this match, I was extremely excited for it, and I think these women are the future of the WWE, but it was a little lackluster for me. Don't get me wrong, it was a very, very good match, but following up the Tony D'Angelo and Obafemi match didn't do it justice. I feel like if this match would have opened, it would have looked a lot better and felt a lot better. Now, as far as the in-ring action goes, it was very good, and I enjoyed it a lot, but I expected just a little bit more. These women are the future top stars, and I do look forward to what they can do in the future. But as far as this match goes, it was good, but not as good as I expected. As far as the rating goes, I gave it an 88, which is good, but I expected my rating to be in the 90s. But an 88 leaves us with a 4.4 stars. It was a great match. I'll probably go back and watch it again, but I still feel like they could have done better. Stephanie Vakir will pick up the pinfall on this one over Roxanne Perez, and after the match, while Stephanie Vakir and Julia are celebrating, we get a glimpse of Zarya as she is in the arena standing over the ring, looking down upon the women in it. WWE is building her up to be an absolute monster, and I cannot wait to see what she can do in ring. After the tag match, we will see Andre Chase and Ridge Holland go one-on-one in an ambulance match. Now, this was my least anticipated match for the night, mostly because I kind of thought the story was dead. We haven't seen or heard anything really about this whole situation outside of a few promos from the members of Chase U. As a matter of fact, I forgot that this feud was ongoing until Tuesday when Andre Chase cut a promo and calling Ridge Holland out for an ambulance match for Halloween Havoc. At the beginning of this feud, I stated that I didn't really understand it. It didn't really make a lot of sense to me. And so now looking at it, still doesn't make a lot of sense. Ridge Holland will take the win after a very hard-fought battle, which I thought either one of them could go home with. After a lot of shots with the ambulance and using the stretcher in new and ingenious ways, I was very impressed by Ridge Holland and Andre Chase for what they put together. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm discrediting both of them as wrestlers. I know they're both fantastic in the ring. I just wasn't super excited for this one, and my rating will probably show that. As for a rating, I gave this match an 84, which is a 4.2 stars. So far, the PLE has been really good. I've really enjoyed it, and NXT is putting on another fantastic event. And this one surprised me a lot, being on the card and not really seeing anything about this match up until Tuesday. Part of me believes that if this was given a little bit more time during the regular tapings, that I would have been more excited and my rating might have been a little higher, which doesn't look good on me because I'm letting the story reflect the rating, but it is just how I feel. Following the ambulance match, we will see Kalani Jordan defend her Women's North American Championship against Fatal Influence. Now, up until earlier that night, the stipulation for the match had not been set, but Fatal Influence in the pre-show announced it would be a gauntlet match. We would first see her take on Jasmine Nix and defeat her quite handily pretty fast. JC Jane would come out to follow and gave her a little bit more of a run for her money than Jasmine Nix did. Finally, we would see Fallon Henley come out and take the win. Once I heard the stipulation, I wasn't as shocked by this. Kalani Jordan has done a fantastic job as the first holder of that belt, and nobody can take that away from her. Now, after the match, Fallon Henley begins to cut a promo before it is cut short by Zarya. She would go on to attack all of Fatal Influence, and it looks like she is coming after the Women's North American Championship. This is the first time we have seen her do anything in the ring, and boy, did it look good. I can't wait to see what she has in store for us in the future. Now, as far as the match goes, it was pretty good. We didn't get a lot of time to be excited about the stipulation, and I think if we were given just a tad more time, it would have been really, really fun to watch the build. But it was very good nonetheless. I gave it an 81 out of 100, which is a 4.1 stars. Kalani Jordan looked fantastic as she has a very bright future in this business. And Fatal Influence looked good as well as a great female heel faction. Now, how Zarya will play into all this in the future, I have no idea, but I am very excited about more to come from this match. Now for the final match, we saw Ethan Page and Trick Williams go one-on-one for the NXT Championship in a Devil's Playground match. And if you don't know what a Devil's Playground match is, it's basically a Falls Count Anywhere match with a hardcore twist on it. Page and Williams have put together some fantastic matches, and this story that they have cooked up has been amazing. After each match, you think the story is over, and somehow they figure out a way to extend it for maybe just one more match. Now, with the hardcore element of this match, they used a lot of the ringside and under the ring elements, such as part of a ladder, the announcer's table, the steps, nuts and bolts in a bag. Anything was fair game, and it was so enjoyable to watch. You don't get a lot of these hardcore matches like that in WWE anymore, and I think they're starting to turn a corner with bringing those back. We saw a great reaction to Punk and McIntyre at Hell in a Cell, which used some of those elements during their match. And I think WWE sees that the fans also want to see that more. Nonetheless, they did a great job on this match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. For my rating, I gave it a 92, which is a 4.6 stars, and it's very well deserved. They put their bodies on the line for this match, and we were left with a great result. Trick Williams would go on to win the match, but following the bell, Ridge Holland would come out and attack Trick Williams. Ethan Page would somewhat reluctantly help him attack Trick Williams, and they seem to be forming a team. This is the first we've ever seen of them interact, so I'm not quite sure where they're going with this. Now, to save the day, Bubba Ray comes down to the ring and attacks Ethan Page and Ridge Holland. Bubba Ray and Ridge Holland had already gotten into it just a tad as Busted Open was doing intermission interviews and talking about the following matches, and Ridge Holland had interrupted them twice. It looks like they're setting up for a tag team match with Trick Williams and Bubba Ray against Ethan Page and Ridge Holland, which, by all means, I look forward to. NXT will be in the ECW arena in 2 weeks, and I believe that's when we will probably see them face off. And that's all for Halloween Havoc. NXT continues its streak of putting on great events while having one of the best weekly wrestling shows on TV right now. I can't wait to see what they cook up in the future, and it looks like Tuesday is going to be a fantastic night, as well as the following week when we are in Philadelphia at the ECW arena. But for this video, that's it. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.